This holiday season, Peloton's got a gift for you. Right now, get up to $200 off accessories with the purchase of a Peloton Shred. Accessories like non-slip grip resistance bands, a heart rate monitor, yoga blocks, and more. Take your workout to the next level with Peloton. Motivation that moves you. Hurry, this limited time offer ends December 25th. Visit onepeloton.com to learn more. All access membership separate. Offer ends December 25th. Cannot be combined with other offers. See additional terms at onepeloton.com.
Get ready, Ohio. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming to the Buckeye State. And to kick things off, you can get started with $100 in free bets as an early sign-up bonus. Plus, when you sign up today with promo code OhioSB, you'll be all set for when FanDuel goes live in Ohio. Then you can bet on all your favorite teams and all your favorite sports with $100 in free bets. Just download FanDuel's top-rated sportsbook app. It's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Ohio, this is your chance to get in on the action. Join today with promo code OhioSB. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. 21 plus and present in Ohio. Bonus issued in non-withdrawable free bets that expire 7 days after FanDuel accepts its first real money sports wager in Ohio on 1/1/23. Unique user identity verification required. Offer ends on the go-live date. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Podcast, the daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures each and every day from the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio. Baldwin Ace Hardware, a beacon of DIY awesomeness in the Northland of Michigan. And Gil Murray, who owns the joint, might be the world's longest case of COVID. And I'm like, well, if you quit going to Vegas and gambling your ass off at your super spreader card tables, maybe you'd have a better shot. I'm totally busting his balls. That's what he does. He peddles hardware like the fucking Jewish guy on Deadwood and plays poker. All right. The show is a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures each and every day. Lion's share of the audience get the show on the on-demand audio download. Thank you. And then a pocket of people with us live every morning on Twitch. Thank you. My dad is going to be joining us for Dear Meathead, and I did a horrible job of promoting that to get people to send questions for my dad. So horrible that we have none. Zero. Yeah, I know. I feel like an idiot about that. If you could send me a question for Dad, which I will ask him, Eric at ericzaneshow.com for another edition of Baldwin Ace Hardware Dear Meathead. All right. So that will happen in 54 minutes. Talked to him yesterday. Doing well. Said he went out. Did some shopping. I go, Christmas or grocery? He goes, grocery. When you're that age, people do stuff for you. Okay? You got to prepare yourself for this. If we are lucky enough to live to the ripe old age of approaching 89 in March. Wait a minute. Yes, 89 in March. I think. Shit. Now, yeah, it's definitely 89. Because he was born in 34. Then when something happens, like to the house, randos just show up and fix shit. My dad's sweet son-in-law, I guess, because it's his stepdaughter's husband. Technically, it's a step-son-in-law, but nobody wants to refer to it that way. That's the same reason why I always say my stepsisters/sisters. These people are closer to... My stepsisters are as close or closer to me than, like, my brothers. my actual blood brothers. And technically, out of all these people I've named, I only have one blood brother. Can you believe that? Out of all these names that I've said over the years, regular Mike, who currently hates my guts, Push-Up Paul, World Book Jim, Norman Bummer. Those are the 4 boys. 5 counting me. Only one is a blood brother. World Book Jim. Everyone else is, half this, half that. I've got stepsister Joe. Stepbrother Joe, stepbrother John, stepsister Janine. You rarely hear about these people. Those are Wally's kids. I got stepsister Sue, stepsister Elizabeth, stepsister Nikki. But I'm super close with my stepsisters. Not so much with Wally's kids. I mean, I see them and I love them. We share communication, and we oftentimes always hit it off fine and very well. And it's always been a great relationship. But I've known my stepsisters since I was like 8 years old. So we're super tight and spent a lot of vacation time with them when I would go and visit my dad and stuff like that. So that's why. And I didn't gain Wally's kids as stepbrothers and a stepsister till I was like older. Hang on. Enough about my fucking family bush. I need to take a drink of this. And I wonder if my stepbrother Joe, who I think is my favorite, just a sweetheart. He's the guy who at the Big House, Michigan Stadium, he's the guy that controls the video board. Like the big thing that everybody looks at when the replay plays, it's his job to control that. I'm like, what a gig. What a cool-ass job that is. Hang on, I think I went down the wrong pipe. Son of a bitch. The Great Food Giveaway. I have an update for you on the Great Food Giveaway. First of all, again, send me questions for Dad, Dear Meathead, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. You'd make me very, 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 very happy. All right. Let's see. I wrote it down, and I have it on a post, a Facebook post. Great Food Giveaway update. 1 week ago, we were $2,000 from our goal of $5,570. Now we are under $1,000 from our goal. And it's just been kind of trickling in a little bit here, a little bit there. Consistent. Not a staggering pace and not a ton of money. I didn't expect that. I expected it. That's why I started talking about this with plenty of lead-up time so that we're not scrambling. But I'm extremely proud at how this has gone. Of the need of $5,570, roughly, we have a amount raised of $4,574, roughly, give or take a few pennies, $995, rounding to the nearest whole number, till our goal. So under 1,000, that is exciting. And we have 8 days left to do it. Update to update. Like 10 days ago, we had $1,105 to go. And we have, now it's $995. So you see, it's not like roaring in the amount of money. And the thing about that is we're still in the number of people who have thrown a few bucks into the hat for people that could use a Christmas meal. Only in the 60s or so. It is not a lot of people. And that is totally something. I know that this goal can be met quite quickly if, and people are giving 25, 50, 75. I'm not asking for that. I see how many people listen to this show. Every day it's thousands of people. So if you could, before the date, the drop dead date, that's a terrible way to describe it, of December 22, that's the Thursday before Christmas when the event goes down. I would like to have this done before that. Shuffle along 5 or 10. My way. I'm doing this through Venmo and PayPal. Venmo at Eric -ZEITUNIAN. PayPal at Eric Zane Show. Of course, in the show notes for you, very easily. And right there on the Twitch live stream. Megan says, we're still waiting for a sponsor to take us up on the Triple Dog Dare. Yeah. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, threw $500 early into this fundraising. They want someone, they triple dog dare someone to try to freaking match it. All right. That would be cool. Any extra money, as you know, goes directly to Kids Food Basket. Great organization helping to feed people. Oh, that is so sweet. As I'm talking, Dr. Jim B. sends $20 and says, sorry, I can't send more. Being retired now, the wifey has me on a strict budget. No, you gave like 4 times the amount. He threw $20 just now to the Great Food Giveaway. Don't even sweat it. 5 or 10. It's the strength in our numbers. Because you won't even notice $5 or $10. Okay? You won't. All right. Thank you, folks. I'm excited. Cannot wait. We are just over 1 week away from the Great Food Giveaway. We're going to start boxing the food up Thursday at 2 p.m. at Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. You know, I haven't even talked to Mike Ball. I just assumed he's going to be picking up the food in the trailer. I have a feeling that is going to happen. All right. Dear Meathead, 45 minutes away. Perfect time to discuss something going on. Here I am talking about underprivileged people getting a free meal. And I have this story. In beautiful Grand Rapids, Michigan, we have a haven for people to live on the street. Now, I don't know. I mean, my God, that just sounds terrible, and nothing makes me feel worse than seeing people living on the street. But a lot of the folks that live on the street do it by choice. The idea of staying at one of the area shelters, for some reason, that doesn't line up with what the person wants. Now, if it's me, if I have a choice between 20 degrees outside, sleeping under a bridge on a hard surface, and the other option is indoors, it doesn't matter what the fuck is happening indoors. I'm going to choose indoors. And with that indoors, I get food, a place to sleep. You know, I don't understand. And I don't know if anybody can help me to understand. Now, I think part of the issue is people who stay in the shelters, and there's more than one in beautiful downtown Grand Rapids, and this could be in any city in the United States, there are rules that you have to abide by. You can't be drinking, you can't do drugs or anything like that. And so I think that might have something to do with it. But whatever. I haven't walked a step in their shoes. And for some reason, I'm still at a point in my life when I see someone standing on the side of the road holding a sign, I think it's a scam. All right. And if I'm going to do that, in some cases, it might be like I'm giving the person a loaded gun. Because if they take that money and then go around and get some type of narcotics or something like that, it could kill them. You never know. So that's kind of like where my mind is. Now, add into the mix that there's been a lot of, relaxing and of rules since COVID and nothing's being enforced. There are rules in place for people that are on the street and panhandling, but no one enforces it. So you could be anywhere. And I'm not kidding you. They have there was a spot downtown where I live this summer where they have, I've talked about this, little kind of piping coming up with plug outlets. And there was a fucking kid, young guy, not kid, he's probably in his early 20s, with a television on a park bench, and he's got a sleeping bag and fucking video games. He's playing video games, and he's got his phone plugged in. He's a homeless dude. So he's basically underneath the tree. He's basically camping. Some folks set up tents right on the street. And it's terrible. There was the story about, because at a lot of these settings in this district where people, restaurants and shit like that and shops, of people having sex on the tables where people would eat. Now, not like during business hours, but actually, though, on the table. So homeless sex juice could very well be spilling out onto the table of one of the restaurants. Word to the wise in downtown Grand Rapids. You might be, because God knows that they even clean the fucking thing. So the business owners have banded together and said, hey, is there any way we could maybe do something about this? There's all sorts of issues here. I don't know if it's a sense of entitlement or what, but we're merchants. This is our livelihood. We don't want this. So the city had a meeting about it, and they have decided, audio check, video check, that they will do nothing. And that's fucked up. No, there will be no new rules in place. There will be no policing of this. There will be no getting people. I don't know what the fuck you have to do right now, but I know what you shouldn't be allowed to do, and that is spill sex juice onto the table of the local pizza joint.
Safety and health for both the business community and Grand Rapids homeless population, or kicking someone while they're down.
Yeah. At this encampment underneath a bridge, it looks like a new bridge that was built. And some asshole wrote in spray paint, "choices" on the wall. Yeah, you made a choice. You chose to deface the fucking city property, the state property. Quit making everything. It wouldn't be so bad if everything didn't look like shit.
That's where the lines were drawn between business owners and others who claim the Grand Rapids Chamber of Commerce is trying to make homelessness a crime. The organization suggested a new set of ordinances aimed at dealing with the homeless population. News 8's Joe LaFergie has details now on that debate.
My husband and I own...
It began last week with a letter to the City Commission from the Chamber of Commerce on the problems caused by the city's homeless population and businesses showing up at last week's commission meeting describing some of the challenges they face.
Gunshots, street fights, constant stolen tip jars, being threatened, yelled at, sworn at, and many other things.
The Chamber asking for new rules like not letting anyone sit or sleep in certain public spaces when they're
or take a shit in the street or have sex on a table.
There's room at local shelters, setting zones where panhandling can happen, along with cracking down on aggressive panhandling. A host of business and healthcare leaders, even homeless advocates who signed on to the Chamber's letter to the Commission, say it's a matter of public health and safety for all.
Look at it appears that the photographer from the TV station who was getting footage to show what it's like out on the street got a close-up of a razor with chunks of hair in it, and I don't know what this is, maybe shave cream, and this, I don't know, it looks like a fucking condom or maybe a wet wipe to wipe someone's ass with, laying right in whatever this is, a fucking flower bed. Yeah, that's great.
All involved. But critics claim the Chamber's suggestions amount to criminalizing homelessness, including members of the Grand Rapids City Commission's Public Safety Committee.
We have not seen the kind of necessary investments in this segment of our community from the city of Grand Rapids, and that's a failure on our part. And to take then and move towards even considering ordinances that would further penalize those community members, I think is an outrage.
I didn't hear a word he said because of the amount of vocal fry on that guy.
City officials say there are
I'm actually going to listen to that again because I think he had something pertinent to the story.
Books to deal with
necessary investment.
Rapids City Commission. But critics claim the Chamber's suggestions amount to criminalizing homelessness, including members of the Grand Rapids City Commission's Public Safety Committee.
Okay, so this guy's on the commission, Mr. Vocal Fry here. He is talking about, oh, no, we cannot criminalize the behavior of the homeless population. The fuck we can't.
We have not seen the kind of necessary investments in this segment of our community from the city of Grand Rapids, and that's a failure on our part. And to take then and move towards even considering ordinances that would further penalize those community members, I think is an outrage.
City officials say there are already several rules on the books to deal with many of those issues, but they admit they eased up on
a pile of clothes on the street. Basically, a flower bed is some guy's closet.
On enforcing them during the pandemic to reduce COVID exposure, and more recently, police staffing has led to delayed responses to those complaints. Here, Rosalind Bliss says there are other ways to address the issues.
What are we currently doing to support individuals who are unhoused? How we're connecting with other resources? Where are the gaps that currently exist?
Yeah, quit identifying shit, and can someone and then wait till the next meeting. You know, I mean, can you give me some solutions? Give me something tangible that we can, an idea.
What is our current response to both crime and complaints citywide, not just downtown?
Chamber officials agree those other things need to happen as well. They say they don't consider the decision not to adopt the new ordinances a loss. They do say they accomplished another goal, to get people talking about the issue.
It's caused a great conversation. I think we're ready to stand with them in partnership to continue to address these issues.
In Grand Rapids, Joe LaFurgey, News 8.
Okay, it all sounds like bullshit to me. Nothing gets done. They basically, we got to go and have a conversation. We've got to think. We've got to identify the problem and have a conversation and think about what is at stake. Josh writes, the whole story could have been summed up with local government hoping for snowstorm with enough accumulation to cover up the homeless. Nick says the problem is all the other cities ship the homeless to Grand Rapids. Nick says, DJ Nick says it's the best when a hobo leans up against a building and takes a dump in his pants and shakes his leg to let it all roll out into traffic. Really? Maureen says, was it ugly sweater night at that meeting? All right. I can promise you that all of those people, those civic leaders, those city leaders, they would love nothing more than to rent a few buses and trick those people onto the bus, lock the door, and then drive across the United States, open the door, and at gunpoint, make them all get out. And that's exactly what they want to do, what they wish they could do. They won't do that. So I don't know. Fuck. But I know that the whole idea of camping out on the street, taking a dump on the sidewalk, sex on the table, in front of actual businesses where people pour their livelihood and sweat equity to try to make it, and then the homeless guy taking a shit on the sidewalk is driving customers away. I would say that is something that cannot be dealt with. So these people need to be gone. All right? There should be a city ordinance where there is like a zone where you can, I don't give a fuck, set up a park and make an encampment. I don't care. Do anything. But these homeless people like to be where the people are so that they can panhandle. Fucking A, man. I'm sorry. I have no idea. No, I kind of do have an idea. That's what I would want. Man. Fucking A. Dear Meathead, in 30 minutes, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. If you have a question. In fact, we'll take a look, see where we are right now. Oh, my God, we are so not going to have Dear Meathead. Maureen writes, good morning, Ruben and Joanne. How do you feel about pierced noses? Just wondering. That's a great question because he will go off on that. Maureen is actually thinking about getting her nose pierced. And everybody is telling Maureen no. Now, I think it would be great. I would love it. I kind of like pierced noses on chicks. Well, on dudes too, but only because it makes them look like badasses. And chicks, when a chick has a pierced nose, that tells me that she's like into anal and a little dirty. Of course, of age. You know me, man. 50 and older. So at that point, if Maureen gets a pierced nose, I will think that she's into anal. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. All right. Okay, do I bet the Lions? Do I not bet the Lions? You know, as a Lions fan, I don't know if it's a good idea to bet the Lions. I just want to keep it simple with the Lions. But other teams, parlays, the NFL, college basketball, college football, professional basketball, you name it, MyBookie. That's right. I've teamed up with MyBookie. And regardless of what you're betting on, cash in and cash out quick with MyBookie using promo code ZANE when you make your first deposit. MyBookie will spot you extra cash with your deposit. Minimum $45. But you can claim the bonus all the way up to $2,000. Turn game day into payday when you bet with my bookie. They are the best. I like the idea of the parlay. That to me sounds like so much fun. Bet on this winner in this sport, this winner in this sport, this winner in this sport. All right, the odds are not in my favor. Doesn't matter. Put the money down, and if you hit it big, look out. It's a party at the Eric Zane Show Podcast household. I am so stoked. Again, regardless of what you're betting on, cash in and cash out quick with my bookie using promo code ZANE when you make your first deposit. So if you're using some other app or whatever, I want you to put all of that aside and use my bookie. Listeners of my show, if you like to bet on sports, do it with my bookie. Maybe you're a first-time bettor. Try my bookie using promo code ZANE when you make your first deposit. My bookie. All right, listen up. If you care for your pets the way we at the Eric Zane Show Podcast household care for our pets, you will want to pay special attention. It is so important that the food you feed your dog is perfect. And I've found it. Finally, I've found it. Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend dog food. First of all, when I give it to the dogs, they are so happy and excited to get this food. I've never seen anything like it. I am not kidding you. Before they were like, oh boy, it's time to eat. And they would do it, but now it's like an absolute adventure must-have moment for them twice a day. 0 artificial preservatives, additives, fillers, or meat meal, which I guess that's a terrible thing. So if the food that you're feeding your dog right now has those things, that's not good. The first 4 ingredients in Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend: turkey, beef, salmon, and duck. 81% of the formula is premium meat sourced from North America and New Zealand. It supports your dog's youthful vitality, easy digestion, soft coat, healthy skin, and happy full life. Now, this is incredible because with French bulldogs and English bulldogs, the food that these dogs eat can really show up in their skin, how they breathe, things like that. And we've experienced a lot of negative things from different types of food over the years. But my gosh, it's like a new lease on life for these dogs since we started feeding them Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend. And I have great news. Right now, Dr. Marty's has a special offer for Eric Zane Show Podcast listeners. You can get up to 54% off Nature's Blend by going to drmartypets.com. drmartypets.com/Zane. Plus, they offer a 90-day return of your purchase price. It's pantry safe, easy to prepare, and take with you when you travel. Support your dog's health and happiness with premium, artificial, preservative-free food that they'll love by going to drmartypets.com/Zane. Your dog will thank you.
This holiday season, Peloton's got a gift for you. Get up to $400 off Peloton Bike, Bike Plus, or Tread packages. Choose the package that's right for you with accessories like our cycling shoes, a heart rate band, non-slip grip dumbbells, and more. Peloton, fitness that stays with you. This limited time offer ends December 25th. Visit onepeloton.com to learn more. All access membership separate. Offer ends December 25th, 2022. Excludes Bike, Bike Plus, and Tread Basics. See additional terms at onepeloton.com.
If you're enjoying the show via Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, I'm going to kick you out and encourage you to head over to Twitch, twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live, and watch the show there. Create a little username, follow the page, subscribe to the page. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. If you want the audio on demand, the audio podcast, it is available wherever you download shows. Just search Eric Zane Show Podcast on your favorite podcasting platform. All right. In addition, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. If you ever want to send me an email, I would love to hear from you on the Shoreliners Striping inbox. Ryan writes, And if you're listening with kids in the car on the Twitch app, you've got about 5 seconds. Ryan writes, Dear Meathead, how long should you let kids believe in Santa Claus? Do you just let it naturally end? What did you do? I wonder if he'll even remember that. All right. Facebook and Twitch brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. Twitter brought to you by Blue Frost IT. YouTube brought to you by Frank Fuss, My Policy Shop Insurance. Concerning the Santa thing, for me personally, and I'll let him answer this too, of course. Man, I was like, uh-oh. And I saw that Jim and Jack were conspiring when they're very young, my son and my daughter. Madison was too young, and I was able to prevent this from exposing her because at her age at the time, probably 4 or 5, it would have traumatized her. Jacqueline walks up and she says, Dad, are you Santa Claus? And I looked at her, and Jim's looking too, and he's a couple years older than her. I go, yes, I am Santa Claus. That is me. That is a myth. That is just supposed to be fun. She says, we thought so. I go, yeah, how did you come to that conclusion? She says, because your writing is so bad. There is no way Santa Claus's writing is that bad. And I go, well, you got me. Because I just scribble out to Jackie from Santa. They can't even read where it says Santa. It's so fucked up. All right. Oh, my God. Update on Grant Wall. Grant Wall. Grant Wall. You know that John Wall song, the basketball player? John Wall. Sorry. Grant Wall. I don't think there's any dances for Grant Wall. Grant Wall is the soccer writer. He covers soccer his whole life. And he's at the World Cup, and he just croaks. He just drops dead. Now, it was so weird because initially, and I don't think it's that far-fetched of a thing. You have this horrible nation, Qatar, where they don't give a shit about anything but their own wealth. Being gay is illegal in this horrible country. Women, human rights watchdog groups, it's terrible. They don't give a shit how they treat people. And FIFA, as corrupt as they are, said, yeah, thanks for the money. You can have the World Cup here. And then thousands of migrant workers flow into this huge, incredibly rich country and say, yeah, we'll help you build your stadiums. I said, fuck you. We're not even paying you what we promised you. Fuck off and get to work. Grant Wall shows up to the one of the games with a pride shirt, rainbow flag. I think his brother here, who's featured in the story, Grant Wall's brother, is gay. So he wears that intentionally so that they'll get pissed off at him. And they, detain him. You can't show support for the gays. They made him take the shirt off. Well, he suddenly just dropped dead the other day. In his late 40s, picture of health. Right away, everybody was like, well, he dropped dead, and it smells fishy. Looks fishy. It is fishy. He had to have been poisoned. And I actually believe that still to this day. Right now. I do. I believe that right now. But you know who doesn't? His brother. His brother is the one who started the whole my brother was murdered thing. In fact, just a handful of days ago, on December 9th, he dropped on the world that exact thing. The guy was like, he had just died, and everybody was like, holy shit, this is incredible. Grant Wall is dead. The brother goes on social media and says this.
My name is Eric Wall. I live in Seattle, Washington. I am Grant Wall's brother.
He's devastated.
I am gay. I am the reason he wore the rainbow shirt to the World Cup.
Oh, my God.
My brother was healthy. He told me he received death threats. I do not believe my brother just died. I believe he was killed. And I just beg for any help.
All right. Now that's probably one of the saddest things I've ever seen in my life. He's taking the brunt of it. He's like, oh, my God, I killed my brother. But now the brother is saying, no way. And I'm like, what the fuck? Grant Wall's brother backtracking on his belief that his brother was killed. He's been providing updates to his Twitter in the days following the tragedy on Tuesday. He cleared up the air on the accusations. I no longer suspect foul play. Eric also initially tweeted Grant may have experienced a pulmonary embolism and was in a non-shockable state, but later clarified it was not a pulmonary embolism and says the family will release the cause of death in due time. How about, though, the whole death threats thing? Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I still think that something terrible happened, but he doesn't think so. Corey says he probably got death threats himself. Ryan writes, my 7-year-old came out this year and seemed to not believe, talking about Santa Claus, but I think is playing along because my 10-year-old is just engrossed in it still. Yeah. Covering. That's what they do. That's good. Adam says the Qatarians got him. Are they known as Qatarians? It sounds like an alien race on Star Trek. All right. Well, he's saying no way. I'm now taking it back. I don't know if I believe that. Hey, I have a Patreon podcast that I do when this show is done. The free podcast happens, of course, Monday through Friday. And then after it finishes up, we do a Patreon bonus podcast. And, you know, I just remembered, I think I forgot to post the Lost Zane recordings this week, the Monday version of the Lost Zane recording. So I apologize for that. I will get that done today and then have to do it again on Friday. But I put up 11 episodes a week for the Lost Zane recordings. I'm sorry, for the Patreon that I make available for you when you sign up for just $5 or $10 a month. So try it out for 1 month, see if you like it, and if it's it's ad-free and listener-supported, 100%. It helps keep the lights on. Thank you so much for signing up for the Patreon. The open and live stream of today's show brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV, 616-532-6600. ER Vines, that is ervines.com. That is the place where the Great Food Giveaway will be happening. Cannot wait for that on Thursday the 22nd, just over 1 week away as we count it down, trying to inch our way towards raising all that money for the Great Food Giveaway, which twice the amount of what we wanted last year with the increase in costs. Inflation, oh my God. 616-532-6600. Thank you, Irvines. If you need your vehicle repaired and you like to support the Eric Zane Show podcast and my sponsors, please get your vehicles repaired at Irvines. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bosco's Pub is a place that we're going to meet after the Great Food Giveaway for a little lunch action, late lunch, early dinner. Bosco's Pub, part of Terra Square in beautiful Hudsonville, Michigan. Great burgers. And, of course, draft beer on tap, bottled beer on tap. No, you don't have bottled beer on tap. Bottled beer, draft beer, mixed drinks, TVs all over the place. Great atmosphere, wonderful place, local business. Thank you, Bosco's Pub. Yesterday, it was yet another doctor's appointment for our fixer-up project, the NFK. It's been nearly a year. It's been 11 months since he had his cervical spine repaired. Still is crazy to me to think that, the initial thought process was they go in and those little cervical vertebrae, they would kind of like cut them and widen them out, like manually manipulate them and then bolt it all back together. But his was so deteriorated and causing such a narrowing of his spinal column for his spinal cord that they opted to actually remove those vertebrae, not take the whole thing out, but cut a good portion, like half of them out, grind up the bones to make a paste, hardware it all together, and then over the hardware, like cement and rebar, put his bone paste over it, which then does what bone does and regenerate and scar tissue and no mobility. Those vertebrae are useless, but it's not like he's going to be fucking breakdancing anytime soon. And it that protects the spinal cord, and a 1,000,000% improvement. Saved his life. Saved his life because eventually the continued tightening of the spinal cord by the bone and vertebrae becoming more and more impacted would have caused his paralysis. So just incredible. You know, if you think about it, the passing of Diana's brother David allowed Kevin to, now he lives with us, and we're super vigilant about his medical care. He wouldn't have done any of this shit if Dave was still alive. In a weird way, Dave's death saved Kevin's life because O'Neill's having a dream. We wouldn't have had the neck issue taken care of. He wouldn't have met with a endocrinologist to tell him that he has cirrhosis, early stages of cirrhosis on his liver. He wouldn't have stopped drinking. So he wouldn't have lived long. That's kind of weird, but it's true. And his teeth would have fallen out of his head. And his asshole would have smelled horrible. We get to the docs yesterday. Of course, I'm the eyes and ears. And I was afraid of this. The doc says, did you get that x-ray? Because he wants to take a look, see how it looks. And I dropped the ball, and I go, I didn't. He goes, and he kind of like, his smile fades. Oh, that's why you're here, asshole. To look at an x-ray. So I can compare it to the x-ray I took after I rebuilt your brother's neck. He goes, okay. Well, after I get done here, you got to go down to the first floor and get an x-ray. If there's anything worth that I need to talk to you about, I'll call you. I go, thank you. But no, he is improving dramatically. And the crazy fucking thing of this is we're in the waiting room getting ready to go see the doc. And he goes, I'm going to start walking. And I go, what? Yeah, I'm going to get my cane every day and walk around the neighborhood, take a walk. I go, and I was floored. I was like, you are? I go, okay. I go, well, I take the dogs for a walk every day. Do you want to walk with me? He goes, yeah. I go, well, fuck yes. Boom. Walking buddy. So now it's me, dressed up like those homeless guys in that story I just told you about. 4 dogs shitting all over everybody's yard, and the NFK. with his cane. He doesn't really need the cane, though. You know, when we walked throughout the hospital, we had to walk a long way. He didn't need the fucking cane. So I don't know why he brings it, but I think it's just something he likes to do. I don't know. Maybe having trouble walking. Megan Thee Stallion. When I saw this, I was like, what? When did this happen? And how come I didn't hear about this? As Maureen says, and he shouldn't walk alone, though, just in case. No, you're right. I would be a little bit apprehensive about him walking alone. Were you guys aware that this guy here, who looks like the most wholesome dude ever, shot her in the feet? Megan Thee Stallion? I had not heard anything about this. Well, this is in front of a judge right now. The dude you saw is Tory Lanez. Prosecutors involved with Tory Lanez's felony assault case offered their thoughts on what drove the artist to allegedly shoot Megan Thee Stallion. By the way, looking at her, that's the look of a woman who looks like she would be a very aggressive when it comes to lovemaking. I would think that she's like into guys who are what's described as a beta male, so that she can like kick the shit out of them while she's having sex with them. She is extremely attractive, in my opinion. Oh my God. But in kind of like, because I don't like young women younger than me, but she's extremely attractive, I think. I really think she's something. Oh my God. If Diana said, hey, you got a hall pass, I might make an exception on my age rule for Megan Thee Stallion. All right. On Monday, December 12th, the first day of their long-awaited trial, was a preview of what the public can expect from the proceedings. Prosecutors say that Lanez used a handgun to fire multiple bullets at Megan's feet and told her, dance, bitch, all because she insulted him. That's like that scene from Goodfellas where Tommy shot fucking Spider. The prosecution claimed that the Alone at Prom rapper was angry after Megan sarcastically called him a beautiful artist. They presented several text messages from the defendant in which he apologized and claimed he was too drunk. I know you're probably never going to talk to me again, but I genuinely want you to know that I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart. Lanez reportedly texted Megan. I was just too drunk. Nonetheless, he's referring to the incident when he shot her. Shit should have never happened, and I can't change what did. I just feel horrible because I genuinely just got too drunk. Oh, my God, what a disgusting fool. They'd all been drinking. Emotions were running high. Yeah, quit using being drunk as an excuse. Deputy District Attorney Alexander Bott said, according to Rolling Stone, what Megan and Kelsey will both tell you is what really set off the defendant was when Megan insulted his skills as a musical artist. The shooting happened outside of Kylie Jenner's pool party in Hollywood Hills. God. According to prosecutors, Lanez, Meg, and her former best friend Kelsey Harris and driver Raquan Smith hopped into a black Cadillac Escalade. Smith was reportedly driving the car when he pulled over to let Meg and Kelsey out. That's when Lanez shot the gun at Megan's feet. This is so ridiculous. The defense also offered an explanation for the evidence that the prosecution presented. Tory Lanez's lawyer, George Armenian, told the court that their issues began inside the party because Meg was allegedly jealous that Lanez-born Daystar Peterson was spending time with Jenner in the pool. Corey Gamble, Kris Jenner's friend, reportedly witnessed the moment and is prepared to take the witness stand to testify. I don't ever remember her being shot. Lanez eventually agreed to leave the party with Meg and Kelsey. Once they got into the car, an argument ensued in which Tory claimed that he and Meg had sexual relations. Kelsey became enraged because she too was allegedly in a sexual relationship with Tory as well. Megan did the same thing to me when I was with DaBaby, another rapper, and when I was dating Ben Simmons, the NBA basketball player. Armenian lawyer told jurors about a statement Harris alleged. I'm confused. All I know is that hot chick got shot in the fucking feet, allegedly, and guy said, "Dance, bitch." She's expected to testify along with Kel. She might have already done it. There's a clip of Tory Lanez leaving the courtroom day one of felony assault trial over claims he shot Megan Thee Stallion in both of her feet in July of 2020. Audio check, video check.
The style of your suits as you come into that's what you comment to. Very proud of that.
Look at this guy. He's all smiles. He's got this squeaky clean image. That's it. That's all you can give me is guy sitting there smiling and terrible audio. My God. In my opinion, if it is proven that he did this, he'll probably not spend a day in jail. All right. My dad in moments for Dear Meathead. All right. Thank you to Travis. Thank you to Nathan. Again, thanks to Ryan. Thanks to Maureen. If there's anyone else with a question, please send it along. A pithy question. All right. If you have a small or medium-sized business, I shouldn't say that. If you have any business, I should say. I get that confused about when I talk about Blue Frost IT. Reach out to me if you're thinking about advertising. If you want to kick your marketing into high gear, reach out to me, Eric at ericzaneshow.com, about how it works on the Eric Zane Show podcast. I'll be able to point you in the right direction and maybe get you on the show in front of thousands of people each and every week. Tens of thousands of people each and every week. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. Like my friends at My Policy Shop Insurance, tomorrow is the last day for open enrollment. You can get insurance for you and your family, health insurance, in time if you reach out now. Reach out to Frank Fuss at My Policy Shop Insurance. No matter where you are in the U.S., he can help you out. 616-914-4070. If you're in between jobs, perhaps your employer does not offer insurance, or you're self-employed. Get insurance today, health insurance for you and your family on the marketplace. Frank will help you every step of the way. 616-914-4070. Looking to get some money out of your home to pay off a high-interest credit card? Reach out to the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. So, yeah, you owe $8,000. Get $8,000 out of your home. Actually, get $10,000 out of your home. Pay off the high-interest credit card, which the interest rate is going to go up again today, which you're paying hundreds of dollars a month in interest charges. And then take that extra $2,000 Buy something nice for yourself and a bunch of great Christmas gifts for the family. Then that $10,000 you're paying off on a much lower interest rate over the course of the life of the loan, which is spread out. You don't even notice it. It's fantastic. That's a great way to save thousands of dollars. You can also reach out to the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage to get any mortgage for any home that you're thinking of buying. Get pre-approved today with 5-star service from the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. 231-332-6505. That is a number to call. NMLS number 3035. 231-332-6505 today for the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. All right. Don't go anywhere. I have to. Duty calls. I have to tinkle. I'll be right back, and then we'll bring in Dad for Dear Meathead. All right. Okay. All right. Dad on Dear Meathead, brought to you by Baldwin Ace Hardware. Baldwin Ace Hardware, a beacon of DIY awesomeness in the Northland. Hello. Hello.
Good morning.
Hey, Dad, how are you?
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Shit.
Hey, it's okay. I can hear you. Uh-oh. Hello? Uh-oh. Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm sorry, man. I messed up on the phone.
Nah, you're fine. It was probably just a button push, you know?
No. I just actually shut you off.
Oh, you did, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we got you now, so.
I pushed the wrong button.
Well, that's okay. I do that all the time.
How you doing, honey?
Never better. Having a good day here, and I think it's going to get terrible weather very soon, but, what the hell? It's winter.
Yeah, I heard about that.
It's these cold months really make you appreciate the warm months.
Oh, my God, yes.
There's, it's just kind of like you just get through it, and then you just can't wait to get up north.
Yes. But you know what? I just don't think I like the cold weather anymore. Used to not to care, Yeah. I care now.
Yeah. You should go to Florida in the summertime or in the winter.
Oh.
California. California. Yeah, move in with Nikki.
Yeah, but I don't know. It'd drive you crazy.
No. They got room. They'll put you in like the guest house.
Yeah, right.
And you can like walk the dogs. Don't they have Great Dane dogs?
Yeah,
oh, yeah. I need video of you walking 2 Great Danes down the street.
And drag me by my butt.
Oh yeah. I would actually pay to see that.
Oh my God. Oh well. I don't know. I feel pretty good.
Yeah. I maybe you'd probably do great, Oh
well. Hey.
All right. Well, here we go on another edition of Dear Meathead, and just putting the final word about this. You guys did not get COVID. That is spectacular news.
Yeah, great.
Just very, very happy that happened. That was a little bit frightening to say the least.
Thank you, honey, for a good analogy there.
Well, it wasn't an analogy. It was just I'm just happy.
Hey, it's something.
I'm just happy that you didn't get sick.
No, yeah. you said good things.
Yeah, I know, but it's not an analogy.
Well, I don't even know what it means, but it's
Well,
it
that's
came
okay.
out of my mouth.
Yeah, okay. Hey, that's all right. Hey, I do that all the time, too. Maureen has a question for you, Dad.
Hi, Maureen.
Maureen, she is, she just got her nose pierced.
Hey, her nose what? Pierced?
Yeah, she just got her nose pierced. So she has like jewelry in the side of her nose.
Ouch.
Yeah, she writes, how do you feel about pierced noses? She adds, I'm just wondering, I recently said that I wanted to get my nose pierced, and everybody said no. And then she ended up doing it. She got her nose pierced. So,
unfortunately, I have a personality that doesn't deal with the thing that's happening when people fool around with their faces and bodies and all that. So I just don't want to get involved in a conversation. It actually bothers me to hear people do that to themselves. So I don't know if I can give you any. But if I give you an opinion,
you did. You actually just did. You said it bothers you.
Well, no, not quite as strenuously as I want it to be, because I would have probably, if that was my child doing that.
Well,
I'd have a hell of a time with it.
Well, I mean, people listen to this to hear you speak your mind. So.
Yeah.
So
I'm doing that, but I didn't really make it a.
Well,
strenuous, strong type of a conversation.
Well, don't be shy.
I don't hurt their feelings,
It's okay. She hurts everybody's feelings herself. So.
Well, no, the feelings are feelings, but when you fool around with a God-given body of yours, it troubles me.
Yeah, you can't do that. You just got to leave it alone, right?
Sure. Yeah, I can understand if you have a type of face that requires surgery and so forth to make yourself look better. Okay, but I don't see how a big piece of metal hanging out of your nose is going to make it any better in my mind, But then again, good luck to you. I'm grateful for the fact that I had an opportunity to express my feelings.
It's perfect. You did great. You did perfect. I'm just writing down the note of a big piece of metal sticking out of your nose.
Yeah, and then again, it's her choice. That's all right. And I do not mean to insult anybody.
No. Hey, you know what?
I'm just pouring it out.
Hey, even if you did, they signed up for this. This is what they want. And then
I don't want to hurt their feelings.
No, it's okay. And then I took a note. It says if you have the type of face that requires surgery.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, I got it. All right, Dad. That is all good. That is. Now she ended up getting it, and I saw it. I saw it on her nose, and I thought it looks marvelous. But that's just my opinion. Anyway.
I'm not going to elaborate on that anymore because...
Fair enough.
I don't want to be saying insulting things.
No. You already did, but that's okay.
Anymore.
All right. Ryan writes, Dear Meathead.
Hi, Ryan.
He says, when it comes to Santa Claus, how long should you let kids believe in Santa Claus?
How long should I let what?
You know how kids believe in Santa Claus, and then at some point, they don't?
I'll tell you what. You keep it up as long as you can. These kids are going to grow up, become men. They'll step on their own.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Really?
And I think that's what most people do. If you make a big deal about it, it's probably going to be horrible.
Yeah.
And then he said that was his next question. Do you just let it naturally play out? And then he asked, what did you do? I don't think, I think you just let it naturally play out.
I would, but then again, I remember when I was like 12 years old that I believed in Santa Claus. But, what? You
did?
The kind of Santa Claus I believed in is, I thought my parents were Santa Claus.
Oh, okay. I thought, when you were 12 years old, living.
Yeah, that was it,
I would expect you're 12 years old living in Iran, Santa Claus, you're hoping that he brings you like a drink of water.
No, we didn't have Santa Claus really, but we kind of knew what was going on for some reason.
Yeah.
At the very early stage of our life.
Santa Claus, please bring us some flour for bread.
You talk about Santa Claus and age and my age and all that. I remember I cried my eyes out so that I could get a tie.
Oh yeah, I remember you talked about that with us. You're like you had a really, really low bar, and so most kids are hoping for a new bike or a doll or a baby, and you wanted a tie.
Yeah, and you know what? It's a very strange thing that you bring this up. The issue of years and my past. Actually, we didn't think that Santa Claus was such a big important thing.
Right. Well, yeah, because in Iran, if somebody went outside with a red suit, they'd shoot him in the face.
Oh, yeah, well, the only people that would do that would be Christians, that would celebrate.
Yeah, they're not gonna go for that there. That's
no.
Yep. All right. Let's see. Nathan, he also has a question about Santa Claus. He says, it's his opinion, he always thought it was a mistake to let his kids think that Santa Claus was real, and he thinks it's like you're lying to your children. Do you agree with that?
I don't think so. I never thought of that when I was growing up and there was Santa Claus, supposed to be Santa Claus. I really thought it was there. Nobody's lying or nothing until I got older.
I remember.
I think you got to let the children grow. On their own, they'll change it.
What about the Easter Bunny?
Yeah, what about the Easter Bunny?
Hey, I believed it all. And I remember when it was revealed to me that that's not a thing. I remember my old pal Matt Smith. He was the one who broke the news to me, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" I could not believe it. I was like 24 years old.
Oh, that is funny, Eric. But you see, it's something that stays with you,
Right.
It really is. I would still make a comment, maybe.
Chris has an interesting addition to all of this about Santa Claus, and he writes up, my 5-year-old came very close to telling Santa that he knew he was the real Santa. And then Chris says, I cut him off and steered the subject away. It was about a black Santa Claus. And he I guess he wanted to say, I know you're the real Santa because you're white, I guess. But he said he cut the kid off and steered the subject away. And then he says, we definitely teach inclusion, but I think his logic was about to say something weird because he recognizes Santa as being white. Is it normal for a 5-year-old to question a black Santa Claus as the real Santa?
Well, I really don't know what goes on in a child's mind about this situation. But then again, why not leave the kid alone? Let him decide.
Well, yeah.
Let him grow up and see what it is and what he wants to do.
Yeah, I would have let him. I mean, I guess I messed that up. He was on Santa's lap, and the Santa who he was talking to was a black guy. So he was about to say, I know you're not the real Santa because you're not white, which is unbelievable. But I would have let the kid ask it because it would have been hilarious.
I mean, why do that? He thinks of something. Well, let him. It's nothing terribly bad.
No. Yes.
Let him think what Santa is.
Right. Yes. You know, I mean, that's what that Santa is paid to do. He's supposed to have a list of ways to answer that question. You know?
I never thought of that. The Black Santa.
Yeah. You know, I love Black Santa. In fact, if I ever have a Christmas party, I'm going to go out of my way to make sure it's a Black Santa. And then I'm going to invite
That'd be cool.
And then I'm going to invite Tom Alexander to see how he'd react.
Oh my God.
Be nice for the black kids.
Oh.
Yeah, I said it'd be nice for the black kids.
It's about time. All right. Let's see. Travis writes, Merry Christmas to Meathead and Joanne.
Thank you. Same to you, buddy.
Travis wants to know if you recall a favorite Christmas gift.
This year, our roof.
Joanne says this year our roof.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that earlier in the show, and I started to, and then I forgot. I understand that you lost a part of your shingles, and some guy who knows how to do that for a living just showed up at your house and repaired the roof.
Yeah, and didn't charge us.
Right, and I was making the point that people love the folks who are a little older, and like helping them out. It's either
that is the greatest thing in the world. I think people should go around, not necessarily this time of year, but any time of the year.
Yeah,
I like to help my neighbors. I really do.
Right. I think what happens with folks that are in their 80s, like you guys are, you're either going to get someone like the guy who helped you on the roof, or you're going to get someone who's going to steal all your money.
You're right.
There's like no in between. It's either going to be help you for no charge or try to rob you blind.
Yeah. But of course, our situation was very unique because Jim Marquis had a lot to do with that.
Right. And he is, of course, your son-in-law and all the
blessings that I get.
Yeah, you guys have a really, really wonderful church that you go to.
Yes.
I think
we haven't been there for a year.
Well, I know, and I think are you guys thinking about going back?
I don't know.
Okay, you're a little concerned about getting sick, right?
Well, it's also a long drive. Also, it's a long drive.
Okay.
For us to get there.
Yeah, I get you. I understand that. Yeah, you know what? Well, let's leave it on that high note about people helping you. That was a wonderful gift that came your way, and now it's one less thing that you don't have to worry about.
That's right.
Okay, well, I got to call you because we got to make plans to come see you again for Christmas, and this time I promise to not be sick with COVID.
Oh, that would be nice.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I love you guys. Everybody loves you. Everybody loves hearing from you and having conversation with you, okay?
Ditto.
Okay.
And we do the same.
Okay, guys.
And God bless everyone that tries to connect to us.
They all do. They love
everybody. They don't have to connect to me. But people are wonderful.
People are wonderful. Yes, they are.
The majority is.
Yep. And remember, Dad, forget about the big piece of metal sticking out of your nose. And
yes.
And if we're talking about people who might have a type of face that requires surgery.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. If God wanted, they would actually make you come to this earth with a big chunk of metal hanging out of your nose.
Okay, gotcha. And then you have a personality that doesn't deal with things like metal in the nose.
Yes.
Those are.
Oh, this is a lot of laughs.
All right, Dad. Well, you guys are the best. Love you.
Love you too, honey.
Okay.
Say hello to your baby.
Will do.
That's your wife.
Okay, of course. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
There you go. Dear Meathead. Brought to you by Baldwin Ace Hardware. Thank you for the questions. You all did wonderful. I knew that the pierced nose thing was going to go down the way it went down. He wants to say so much that he thinks less of you because you got a little nose piercing. And it isn't a chunk of metal sticking out of her nose. It's just a little teeny tiny diamond, I guess, or whatever the fuck, right in the side. I like the ring. I like the little ring. The little ring looks great, especially on women. I think it's fantastic. So you got mixed reviews, Maureen, on your nose ring. But I think it looks awesome. But he was kind of like biting his tongue on the deal, and I knew it. And I knew all I had to do was dig a little bit, and he'd end up dropping the bomb on you over that one. But thank you. All right. Just don't do the septum like a cow, Sam says. Nah, Sam the Jew. I don't know. I think it looks fine. I don't have a problem with it. Stevie says, I have the chunk sticking out of my nose of metal. I didn't. You do? Why do I not know this? Ryan says, I always wonder what blowing your nose with a ring on is like. I mean, get some real stuff come out of the old nose, you know? Well, if you have like Maureen's is going right to the side of the nose. So on the inside of the nose, there's the little hanger-oner that's holding on to the jewelry. The part you don't see. You know that if she blows her nose, that thing is kind of like a little beaver dam for snot. And that's what Ryan says. Doesn't that thing just get lodged with booger juice? That's what I'm thinking. Amy says piercings come out. I don't think any piercing is a big deal. Well, Maureen's is halfway up her nose. Does that mean that you have to do you take it out? And how do you do that? That sounds difficult. More complex than my life needs to be, though. You know, I wouldn't. No, fuck that shit. I'm too busy to have to deal with that. But I'm glad you're happy. All right. Where would we be without every so often having a story about a woman who didn't know she was pregnant? Every time these stories happen, I ask the same questions. The first question is how? Woman suffering stomachache on 11-hour flight unexpectedly gives birth. Absolute wonderment how this even unfolds. Woman was going from Ecuador to Spain. 11-hour flight, KLM, en route to her layover in Amsterdam. She named the child Maximiliano. Maximiliano? Okay. They're fine. And now she's like hoping to make the next leg on to Spain when they fully recover. I wonder if they're going to charge her for two. Pay for one, halfway there, you got to add another ticket. Tamara originally traveled from Quito to Guayaquil in Ecuador before heading to Madrid, Spain, with a layover in Amsterdam. She began to suffer abdominal pains. She decided to go to the toilet. She had to, oh my God, I got to take a dump. This is horrible. Then, as soon as she sat down, I don't know if it had to do with the posture or what, she realized that her vagina was quite large. As you know, some of you know, I guess some of you don't, the flooding of various birthing hormones make it so the vagina and the cervix contract so that the baby can blast out into the world. She's sitting there, contraction number 1. She's thinking, oh, man, this is a huge dump I got to take. I can't believe it. And then the second one, suddenly the baby comes flying out of her. And she had a baby in her hands. She had no idea she was pregnant and was quite taken back by the event. So I think it should be a requirement that the world set up a fund that if anything, if this ever happens, a woman gets $1 million, but she has to have a press conference. All right, here's $1 million, but now we need to know what's going on. And we can ask you any question we want, and it can take as long as we want. Question 1, did your water break? I mean, and if so, when? You should have to take some type of IQ test to determine if you are, in fact, stupid. More questions. How much do you weigh? Because a lot of times you might have these women who weigh like 800 pounds, and adding a 7-pound, 8-pound bundle of joy is, they can consume that in one sitting. So that's no big deal. I would need to see the size of the woman. I am guessing that if you were to do some investigating of any woman who has ever had this happen to her, that they are all over 450 pounds. There isn't one under that weight. She was lucky enough to be aboard the same flight, of course, as 2 doctors and a nurse from Austria who helped her after delivery. So she basically, that door flew open, and she's like, oh, my God, I just had a baby. And the baby's got afterbirth and that cheese shit and the fucking cords hanging out, and it's a disaster. Enormous vagina. Her pants are around her ankles. She trips, falls, and ute juice goes splashing all over the fucking guy in the back row. Some placental oatmeal is scattering all over the place. She named the newborn after one of the medical professionals on board. That's why the name Maximiliano. So it's like, oh, you help me. What's your name? Maximiliano. Oh, well, that's my baby's name. Mom and the newborn, after the plane landed, were rushed to the hospital. While many believe babies born on flights receive free air travel for life, many believe that. I'd never heard of such a thing. Hey, buy a ticket, and if you have a baby on board, they get free travel for life. KLM said in 2016 that was merely a myth. The airline added that the baby does not become a citizen of the country they are flying over, nor do they automatically become a citizen of the country they land in. Why not? I think that would make this more exciting. It should be both of those. They get dual citizenship. So, you're flying over like North Korea. And immediately that kid is North Korean, and then they land in like Iran. So 2 of the axis of evil is where the kid has citizenship. And that is that. No pictures, unfortunately. Incredible. All right. I'm on Cameo, cameo.com/Eric Zane, and I would love it if you'd hire me. It's been way too long since I've done a Cameo. If you or someone you want to roast, has a birthday coming up, or maybe some type of special event, go to cameo.com/Eric Zane or download the Cameo app and hire away. Thank you very much. We have a paintball event coming up with TC Paintball January 15th. I'm looking forward to that. We are just over 1 month away till the next paintball war. January 15th, reach out to me, Eric at ericzaneshow.com if you are in, and I will see you there. If you want to book an event for your friends, for your family, whatever, go to tcpaintballgr.com. Everything needs a reservation. That's how they do it for your party. TC Paintball, one cost, get you the paint, get you the gun, get you the mask, and all the field time. Everything you do has like a referee on there keeping score for your party. Do it. Bachelor party, team building at work, TC Paintball. Kent County Health Department. Everything you need to know at accesskent.com/health. Terrific group of people over there working to help make the community in Kent County, Michigan, that much more healthy. And this, of course, applies to any health department. But thank you to the Kent County Health Department for asking me and hiring me, I guess, to talk about their programs and initiatives for the public in having to do with public health. So vaccinations, immunizations, if your child is not up to date, it's very important that they get up to date. You can get all the immunizations and vaccinations for your child for little or no cost. Measles, mumps, rubella, whooping cough, pertussis, meningitis, the cervical cancer vaccine, very, very important. accesskent.com/health. Thank you. And, of course, A&E Heating and Cooling. Holy crap. Number one in West Michigan. All right? They go by the model underprice, over-deliver. Go ahead. If you need a new furnace, get an estimate from 2 other companies. Doesn't matter who. They're going to try to bend you over. I can promise you that. After you get the estimate, kick them out of your home, and then call Joe Martinez. See how much money you are going to save when he installs the number one furnace brand in the world today, Comfort Maker. So you're getting the best for a significant amount less. 616-516-8579. And the story on Joe Martinez is he used to work for the man. He used to work for a big giant company that would constantly bend people over the piñata. And he said, you know what? I could do this for a hell of a lot less for these people, and I could make a killing. And that's what he decided to do. And then he asked me to help him market, and it's been great since. A&E Heating and Cooling. All right. A little political stuff. And this is very interesting. I only go down the road of something political if it's interesting. This is interesting. A poll just came out, and it is pitting Ron DeSantis v. Donald Trump. The poll and survey was carried out by USA Today and Suffolk University. It was released yesterday. Now, it's kind of weird because it depends on who you ask. And as we get closer to the election process, and we'll probably be able to hone in on this more. Hell, Ron DeSantis, between Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump, DeSantis hasn't said, I'm running for president. He said nothing. Headline in The Guardian says, first thing, Ron DeSantis takes huge lead over Trump in Republican poll. 23 points. My God, 23 points. So they get a person on the phone, likely voter, likely Republican voter. If you had to choose between Trump and DeSantis, who would you vote for? And they're saying DeSantis. Now, if someone said to me, Eric, which one of these guys would you vote for? Now, I'll tell you that right now, I would not vote for either of these guys if they were running for president. I would vote for anyone but them. Now, that might change. But I don't think it will. And part of the reason is because of the story I'm about to tell you about after this story, which has to do with Ron DeSantis. But if someone said, no, you must vote for one or the other, which one? I would vote for DeSantis 10 out of 10 times. There was good news for Trump in another poll covering the same time period by Morning Consult. I don't know what that is. That poll gave him an 18-point lead over DeSantis. Furthermore, the polling website 538 still shows Trump in the lead in most surveys. That is ridiculous to me that in one poll, DeSantis is beating the shit out of him, and then in other polls, Trump is beating the shit out of Ron DeSantis. You know what, though? I kind of want Trump to be the Republican candidate, though. And this has to do with news. The earth would crack in half with the cultural divide that would be taking place. And I know a lot of people are like, yeah, that's not good. Yeah, I know, but it's interesting. It's interesting. I want to see how many Let's Go Brandon flags I can actually see behind on a truck. I want to see how many different renditions of the American flag in gray with different colored lines going through it to symbolize, you got the blue line going through the gray and black American flag. That is support cops. And then you got the red flag, meaning support firemen. And then you got the pink line going through the flag, which is support Republican gay people. And then you've got the green one that goes through that supports tree hugger Republicans. And then the brown one is supports pipe fitters. And then there's also a purple one that supports transgender Republicans. And there's more, but I can't remember them. I want to see a 1999 Chevy Silverado with actually more rust than actual paint, with all of those flags on the front, flags on the top, flags on the back, and the back bumper, along with Let's Go Brandon, and then a Trump flag. We need all this shit. It is good for business on the Eric Zane Show podcast when Donald Trump is running. Okay? I would love that to happen. Now, I get one vote. I don't care who you vote for. I would not vote for Trump. I would not vote for DeSantis as well. I would vote for anyone but. I would vote for a fucking cock with ears over those two. And this is how I deal with that. When people say, how? My answer is, don't worry about it. Am I asking you how? No, I don't care. You're here to hear what I say, my point of view on this shit, so that you can disagree or agree or be happy or sad or laugh. As long as you're not bored is all I give a shit about. David Pelogos, director of the Suffolk University Political Research Center, told USA Today Republicans and conservative independents increasingly want Trumpism without Trump. What did the poll say about Biden? The poll put Biden, the president, up 47% to 40% in notional rematch with Trump and DeSantis, ahead of Biden in national matchup, 47 to 43. So hold on a second here. If Trump is taking on Biden, Biden leads 47% to 40%. If DeSantis is taking on Biden, DeSantis leads 47% to 43%. Is Biden running? I thought Biden already said he was running. Biden, who is 80, said he will decide on whether to run again over the Christmas holidays. I guess not. Maybe. What about Mike Pence? Oh, come on now. Pence has no shot at any of this. You had 80,000 people out in front of the Capitol trying to kill him. Pence? Are you serious? He has no shot. Pence, the former vice president, said he and his wife, Karen, would also make a decision on whether to mount a run next year. After prayerful consideration over the holiday period, we'll continue to travel. We'll continue to travel. We'll continue to listen, he said. When you pray for something like that, does it go Father, Son, Holy Spirit? No, I think he's an evangelist. I don't think he's a Catholic. So he just bows his head and says, Father God, should I run for president? Is that how that works? Because I don't believe he actually prays over whether or not to run for the presidency. I think he's only saying prayerful consideration to appeal to people who believe that you have to pray before you make that type of decision. Hang on. Oh, God. Anyway, it's a crock of shit. I can't wait to watch it all unfold, though. I actually love this shit. I follow this shit the same way I follow the college football playoffs. It's fucking great. Any one of you who say, I hate this. Don't you like story? Don't you like entertainment? You need to look at it like this. That's what you have to do. It's fun. It's drama. Meanwhile, Ron Desantis is trying to kill people. This is why I would never vote for this fucking idiot. He wants the state of Florida Supreme Court to greenlight an investigation of, quote, any and all wrongdoing in Florida with respect to COVID-19 vaccines. His latest move to cast doubt on the vaccine's effectiveness and amplify fears about side effects. That's what these fucking morons have been doing for some time. They've been saying, oh, yeah, you get that shot, there's a good chance you just die. And then anyone who happens to die, like, COVID vaccine killed them. That's what happened. So this idiot's been doing that for quite some time, and he still is doing that. He's trying to get the Supreme Court in the state to drop some type of edict to investigate and get to the bottom of this. Now, there is risk. There are side effects when you get a COVID shot. All right? But the risks are outweighed dramatically by the risk of long-term health issues, long-term hospitalizations, and death. He doesn't trust the CDC, DeSantis, so that's where this comes from. In an analysis released Tuesday by the Commonwealth Fund and the Yale School of Public Health, the estimate is that COVID-19 shots have prevented 3.2 million people from dying in the United States alone, and 18.5 million hospitalizations prevented in the United States. and saved more than $1.15 trillion in medical costs. These are facts. Despite that, fuckhead has touted his decision to avoid the restrictions that many other states implemented in the early months of the pandemic. I kept the state open and I kept the state free. And we now have the biggest budget surplus in the history of Florida. Fuck that guy. Early on in the pandemic, DeSantis had advocated the need for vaccines, but he's changed his message since mid-2021. A shift that coincides with skepticism among idiot conservatives who have at times booed or chided Trump for touting vaccines. Remember, we had Trump on this show who said that he made a beautiful vaccine. Big Fraud Zane. We made a beautiful vaccine, Big Fraud Zane. In fact, I don't know if he's around right now. I should probably get him on because Trump loves the vaccine. Okay? He made it. Remember, he told us about Operation Warp Speed. All right. See if I can get him on here.
Hello, this is President Trump. We're going to make America great again, aren't we? Who is this?
Mr. President, it's Big Fraud Zane. How are you?
Big Fraud Zane, oh my goodness. It is so wonderful to hear from one of my biggest fans. How are you, Eric?
I'm very well, sir, and I am a big fan of our conversations. I can't say that I'm a fan of your policies and your politics, frankly. But
well, we know that maybe you were a little bit like Wish-Wash Mitch in that regard, you know.
Well, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. But I think one thing that we do agree on, Mr. President, is the vaccine. Now, you've said that you made the vaccine yourself, correct?
Well, of course, it's a beautiful vaccine. You know, we did so much for the United States. You got to look back at the vaccine and say nobody knew more about this stuff than Donald Trump. And I think you know it's hard because so many people, they don't want the vaccine and they're saying the vaccine's no good. But I'm telling you that we did such a wonderful job when we made the vaccine, you know, and this whole thing COVID's gone away anyways, hasn't it?
No, not at all. It's still very prominent. It seems. I mean, I think that the vaccine has, if you look at the research, shows that many people's lives have been saved because of your vaccine. But it's still here, sir. You know that.
Well, of course. But the vaccine itself, you know, there's a lot of people that don't want to take it, and you know that's their constitutional right. You know that they don't, if they don't want it, you know, that's fine. Well, they don't have to have it.
Well, what about DeSantis though? He thinks that it's not effective. So that's got to be a problem.
Ron DeSanctimonious, you mean? Ron DeSanctimonious.
Yes. I've heard you refer to him as that. So you
know, the trouble with him is, if it weren't for me, he never would have been governor.
Oh, really? Yeah, you supported him.
Well, it was my endorsement, you know, in the gubernatorial election back, I think it was 2018. We, you know, the thing is, he's in charge of the Sunshine State. And so people, of course, you know, they'll support him because of that. It's so easy down here in Florida. We got to get you down, by the way, to beautiful Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to do that, sir, and I appreciate the invite. There's no doubt. Is there any truth to the idea that you were actually in the lab with test tubes making the vaccine yourself?
Yes, of course. We talked about this. I thought, Big Fraud, we talked about this on your last call. They were so impressed with how much I knew about this stuff. You know, these rich scientists, these doctors, they would sit there and they would scratch their heads, Big Fraud Zane, they would sit there and go, how does this guy know? So the thing is, we made just the most beautiful vaccine, and we got it out so quickly. You know, they're starting to look at cancer with the technology of the COVID vaccine. Did you know this?
No, sir, I didn't. So that means you would then cure cancer.
It's possible. You know, I'm starting to think we could extend this to all forms of disease treatment. You know, I think the vaccine could also possibly look at the cancers, you know, your brain tumors and your all those sorts of things. I think we could look at it.
No, that's really shocking that you are such a wise mind in science, considering you encourage people to put bleach into their bodies and scrub away the illness, if you remember that.
Of course. You know, there was many things we wanted to try. And, you know, some of those things they did to me over at Walter Reed. You got to remember, I was flown by my wonderful helicopter over there, and they did all kinds of things to make me. That was before the vaccine.
Okay. Yeah, your relationship with Dr. Fauci, that was always a little bit, we didn't know what to think for a period of time there, and you seemed to basically tell Fauci to take a back seat, correct?
Well, Tony's not so bright. You know, he's been around for a long time. I think he worked with Reagan. And, Reagan that was a long time ago. You know, I was good friends with Ron. But, the thing is, Tony, I think he's gone now. I think he's gone. He's old, washed up news. You know, he thought he knew a lot about these things, but at the end of the day, he didn't know that much.
Yep.
He was the one. I'll tell you what. You want to know a secret? I hate to do this on the Big Fraud Show, but he might have been the guy that told me about the bleach. I've been covering this whole time.
Well, that is breaking news. That Fauci then here on the Big Fraud Zane Show would have been the one to lead you to that direction. It's remarkable that you didn't throw him under the bus and say, "I heard it from Fauci."
Well, you know, at the time, we thought Fauci had a lot of political, life left in him, but it was so obvious after the fact that, he was just sort of a bumbling idiot. You know, he screwed up the whole AIDS thing. He screwed
up what do you mean he screwed up the AIDS thing?
Well, you got to look back. You got to look back into those Reagan years. And he was withholding things with the AIDS virus.
Oh, so way back in the 80s.
They knew all about it. I think he might have created it. I don't know.
He might have, because we've heard about him doing that sort of thing. There's been rumors for a long time. So maybe he gave it to Forrest Gump's girlfriend.
Right. You know, Tom Hanks, by the way, not such a good guy. I don't much care for Tom Hanks. I think, the thing about Tom Hanks is not so good. You know, I think he had COVID, too.
Yes, he did. In one of the early cases, him and his wife. So can we now Maureen wants to know if we can refer to Tony Fauci as Big Fraud Fauci.
No, that name is specifically reserved for my most favorite host of the wonderful Big Fraud Zane Show. I don't think, you got to talk about Ron Desantis again yet for a minute. The thing is, he's just an average governor. He's playing games. He's not that great.
Not
that great. I don't think he's going to run.
Okay. Well, yeah, it might be you and Pence then, and I think you'd win that,
Well, come on. The obvious, Pence, I mean, he couldn't even handle a little bit of a Capitol riot. He ran out of there so fast. Yeah. The thing is with DeSantis, the thing is, they got these polls, and if you remember these polls, they had Biden winning the election in 2020, and you and I both know that he lost so miserably. That Biden and these polls, the polls are so fake news.
Okay, now if you did win the presidency in 2024, would you then announce that you'd won in 2020 so that you know what I mean?
Well, they're going to give right. The thing is, Big Fraud. If they can get me back in there, reinstate me, maybe we throw out some of those articles of the Constitution or something. Right. Listen, I'll get in there and I'll make sure that I get credited the 4 years that I actually should have served.
Yeah, but then if you won again in 2024, And then that would mean you would have 2 terms under your belt if you made yourself president in 2020. Would you have to resign, or would you just throw away the Constitution or whatever the laws were and just...
The thing is, we got wonderful Supreme Court judges. We've installed wonderful judges. We can have all kinds of... there was a time, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. I used to be a Democrat.
Yes.
I know all about him. He served 4 terms. Did you know that?
Yeah, I know it. Yeah, he was the president for a long time. So we can go back to that. Why not, right?
Why not? If you think about it, too, Teddy Roosevelt. Everyone loves Teddy Roosevelt. What did he do? He had to do what I'm doing now. He had to run against the president, for another term. Well, yeah,
he did kind of get the nation out of the Great Depression through some terrific government programs, but that probably had a lot to do.
Teddy, not Franklin.
Oh, we're talking Teddy. I thought you were talking Franklin. I'm sorry.
So he had to run for president. I think his vice president wasn't so good, and so he had to come out of retirement and run again, which isn't all that different. By the way, I know you're running that big fraud giveaway or whatever, the food giveaway up there.
Right.
I did something like that just after the 2020 election. You know how many of these people gave me millions and millions and millions of dollars? And right after the 2020 election, and we're just wonderful what I was able to do with all that money.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you gave it away to charity or something, or Wayne, what actually happened with all that money? That's a lot of money that they gave you.
Well, let's be honest, Big Fraud Zane. We know what you're doing with the big food giveaway, and that's very, very good of you. I think it's great that you're able to pay yourself.
No, I'm not pocketing the money, Mr. President. You got me wrong. I'm not going to let you get away with saying that I...
All right, Big Fraud Zane, we got you. Yes.
All right,
you're on the show. I got you. We can talk about that off here.
All right, Mr. President, I always I appreciate your time, and thank you.
And you know what? I want you to come down here to Mar-a-Lago. I was just headed over to play some golf. I think that's, I'm trying to lay low right now.
Okay. Yeah, I understand. I mean, you're still reeling after you had those white supremacists over and those Jew haters over. I mean, I get it.
Well, I didn't know. I thought I was quite clear with you that I thought that was Daisy Fuentes.
Yeah.
I was so into her. I wondered what she looked like.
All right. Well, you're getting people are urging you to come to the Great Food Giveaway or the Great Fraud Giveaway. Maybe we'll see you there. Okay.
I highly doubt it. Unless you're giving me money.
All right, Mr. President. Thank you again.
Well, Big Fraud Zane, I hope you have a wonderful day, and tell your wife. What do you call her? Queen of the Jungle. That I said hi.
Right. Yes. I will tell the Queen of the Jungle that she said hi. Or that,
all right,
that you said hi.
I hope to see the two of you down at my wonderful Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, hopefully too. Thank you, sir. All right. Can't even get him off the phone. He just won't stop talking. He's fantastic. Linda says the ticket of Trump, Big Fraud Zane might have some legs. Oh, my God, that was great. I love him so much. You really... It isn't. I mean, I said just moments before I wouldn't vote for Trump, but after I talked to him, I always feel like he's impossible to not like. He's really something. So I don't know. Now I'm confused. Now that I know him, I might have to vote for him. Weird how that works out. All right. Thank you to Sarah Honda Granville, SERRA. Sarah Honda Granville. Go there and check out Michigan's largest selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. Now, these are all ones that are like 2020s, 2021, maybe a 2019. These are great cars. They're going to run for years. Still under warranty. Like new. Babied, kept immaculately clean, tip-top running shape, low miles. Sarah Honda Granville along Kenowa Avenue, just north of 44th Street in Granville, Michigan. Go there. Mention my name. Eric Zane sent me. I need to see a certified pre-owned car. Maybe you want a beater to drive around. They got the budget row. Oh, boy. Get your sled there. But the crown jewel, brand new Honda vehicles. Go there, test drive one today. Pick from any one of the brand new vehicles that are available for 2023. Drive more than one. Get picky about that. Figure out what you want. Make a day of it. Then sit down, figure out what you want on that automobile. A couple weeks later, it shows up ready for pickup. Fueled, cleaned, prepped, beautiful, the only miles on it are the miles to get it like off the carrier and on the carrier. Yeah, here's 3 new miles on it. Oh, my God, so great. Sarah Honda Granville. Online at sarahhondagranville.com. Thank you to Bennett Flooring Installation. Jacob Bennett, the man behind Bennett Flooring Installation and M37 Hackers. If you want flooring installed in your home professionally, first of all, don't try doing this on your own. If you try doing it on your own, when you wreck it, you can call Jacob Bennett, and he'll fix it for you. 616-318-0167. If you must, Mr. DIY, whatever. But you get one shot to do this right. Mom's spaghetti. You mess it up, and the whole thing's fucked. Their slogan at Bennett Flooring Installation is, don't let your floor look fucked. Call today, 616-318-0167 for Bennett Flooring Installation. The flooring that I want you to install. And we are getting dangerously close to where I'm finding out if I'm still going to be talking about Johnson's Discount Outlet. In a matter of days, I'm going to find out. Maybe today. Because they signed up for 6-month marketing package. It has expired. I'm literally doing this on borrowed time. So they might say to me, yeah, we're not going to renew. And that means the last month would have been free. Such is my life. A little bit of a waiting game. That's the way it goes. I will tell you, though, that my heart will be broken if I'm no longer talking about Johnson's Discount Outlet, because I'm so proud to describe how they save you money by buying their flooring, all brands, all makes, all models, whatever you want to say, the best manufacturers, any style at their Discount Outlet for lower than anybody else in the entire state of Michigan. Add on to that a 10% discount when you mention my name. Well worth the trip to Johnson Carpet One Discount Outlet in Granville, Michigan. The lowest price for flooring anywhere. All right. Kyle writes, hurry up, Johnson's. He's looking to buy new flooring for his bathroom, and a depot for home is nearby. Yeah. We don't want that. I would say if you went there now and bought it at Johnson's, that would help me. In fact, even if they leave, you're still going to want to go to Johnson's because you're going to save a ton of money. I'll tell you that right now. The show is just about over. It is time to award the asshole of the day. Once again, reminders, Venmo, PayPal for the Great Food Giveaway. If you haven't already done so, please drop $5 in my bucket, $5 or $10. That's all you got to do, and then you're done. And you don't have to worry about it. You will have answered the call, and we'll be well on our way to $5,570 to pay for 200 meals for 200 families, 200 Christmas hams, 400 cans of vegetables, 200 bags of potatoes, 200 jars of gravy, 200 packages of King's Hawaiian rolls, and 200 pumpkin pies. That's what we need. We've got 8 days to do it. Please get on it. Send that cash And then I'm going to Meijer, talking to my buddy Josh over at Meijer, who made all of this happen in terms of getting this large amount of food ready to go and ordered. Thank you. Buy it, box it, give it away. Ryan says, I just took the day off as volunteer time. Happy to help with anything. Well, you are fucking fantastic. And so are all of you. All right. Asshole of the day today. What did I talk about today? I couldn't tell you. Dear Meathead, talked about great food giveaway. Grant Wall's brother. Megan the Stallion, shot in the foot, both feet by that asshole. Chick didn't know she was preggers. Ron DeSantis. Yeah. All right. Yesterday it was Shane Trejo, the guy who talking shit about the library, and he's a homophobe. Today, it's Ron DeSantis for his anti-vaccine bullshit. Don't believe that nonsense. Get vaccinated, please. It's going to keep you from getting really, really, really sick, keep you from dying. Thank you. Your asshole of the day on the Eric Zane Show podcast. That is my time. Thank you for being part of it. Patreon happens in a little while. I'll be talking about an athlete, a baseball player, coming out as gay and my problem with it. It's actually a former professional baseball player named TJ House. He said, yep, I was gay. In the locker room, I was looking at big floppy dicks and thinking, I need that in my butt. Comes out as gay, TJ House. You never heard of him because he sucks shit. And that's part of my point. Talk about that coming up on the Patreon bonus podcast. For now, I must send you out into the world. Be gone. Be fruitful and multiply. Be gone. Till next time, folks, thank you for checking out the Eric Zane Show podcast. Bye-bye.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare is here, and so is Mountain Dew.
Roger that.
Now you can unlock in-game rewards like only Dew can.
Wait, what rewards?
A Dew Operator Skin.
Man, I love Operator Skins.
Dual double XP, and even Call of Duty points.
You're kidding me. Double XP and Call of Duty points? This is incredible. I can't believe it.
Soldier, get a hold of yourself.
Oh, roger that.
Look for specially marked packaging and visit mtndewgaming.com for details and restrictions. Open to U.S. residents 17+. Call of Duty points available on 12 and 24 packs and free 28-23.